Hey guys, what's going on? So it's time to bring you another starlet update. Wanted to keep you guys in the loop about what we're doing with the car after our last test session. We had a very good test session again. You know, I was able to get the car to 60 foot pretty good. Eighth of a mile was very good. And with all that being said, I was able to look at the data and see where we could change, you know, a few things and hopefully make some big improvements. So man, I think there's a lot to improve on. I think the starlet has a lot left on the table, and I'm really excited to get back out there and, you know, get another test session in. Problem is it's hot now. Weather here is up in the low 90s during the day. Nights are still kind of cool. You know, hopefully if we could get back to the track, we're hoping to get back the end of May. That's the plan. With that being said, I wanted to give you guys an update because yes, the car is completely torn apart. So after I heard that noise in the trans, or what I thought was a noise in the trans, I actually don't think it is. But one of my other main reasons for pulling the transmission out was, man, it was leaking down here and it was making an absolute mess. So there was a little tiny hole in the front of this, basically where, let me show you here real quick. So right here, this piece for some reason was leaking, pouring oil out and just completely making a mess behind the trans. Oil was just going everywhere. I think it was that hole that was leaking that I forgot to plug up, and man, it was just crazy. So I needed to get that thing out, seal it up. Also, when we made that last run, all right, so here you can see we got the transmission apart. So what I did notice on that last run was we were having some issues, or it had an issue where when I tried to shift into fifth gear, it kind of didn't want to take it. And I noticed when I do the burnouts in fourth, it will kind of grind the gear. So this is fourth gear, what they call a slider. So it's kind of like your synchronizer. And if you look right here, you can see all these lugs are chewed up. So this is what engages into the actual gear. This actually slides over this and engages fourth gear. Luckily, this is what they call the faceplate. That looks good considering how bad this looks. And then fifth gear here, you could see also how it's all chewed up. Basically, these are supposed to be square and they're kind of rounded off. So this is fifth gear slider, and then you have input shaft, and that's fifth gear, what they call the faceplate. So you can see right there all these corners that are just beat up. So we're going to change all these parts. I actually just got the parts in. This is fifth gear, the actual gear. This is all Gforce stuff, so pretty heavy duty. And this is the actual trans taken apart. So that's first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and then fifth gear over there. We just got the parts in from Gforce. So we're going to change fourth gear slider, fifth gear slider, and fifth gear faceplate. So let's see what this is. Okay. That is the faceplate for fifth. So if you look at it here, that's the same, right? That goes over there. This is probably both sliders. So you got one there and the other one here. So anytime there's a ramp section like that, you know that that is first through fourth. So what happens here, these gears, and the reason why they're ramped is the way this transmission works is when you engage the next gear, it speeds up on the other gear and will knock this one off and knock it out of gear. So if you look at fifth, it's not ramped, has a little ramp, but nothing like the other one. These are polished too, which is cool. So this is this, brand new. That's there, and then this is this. So you could tell the difference between how round that, how squared off that is compared to that. So we will get this all back together as well. So that's all the transmission. I got everything all cleaned up. It's ready to assemble. Inside the case is clean. So over here you got the bell housing with the adapter plate. Again, all this inside of here was just covered in oil, like it was terrible. I got this side of the case clean also. Everything's ready to go. And you can see here on these magnets, so this is some of the metal that was in there. This is actually silicone, but if you look at the magnets here, this is the metal that was on, captures all the big parts that, you know, from the gears and the teeth slamming each other. You can see that there. So I just left that there to show you guys in video, but all the bearings, all the other stuff. So I'm gonna, like I said, put this together. Also, what we're gonna do is, here's the motor that came out of the car. So you can see there, that's our billet main cap, you know, ARP studs, that's the crank, and I already dressed up the spare engine that's gonna go in there now. So this is what's gonna go in there now. All basically the same components, got the dry sump pump back on it. So next step is to, what we're gonna do is get a spare damper so we could have 2 dampers and trigger wheels. That way we could dress the front of this motor, because it didn't have an oil pump, you know, assembly. So I got this put on there now. We have a spare timing gear, so that way we could basically dress the front, and we'll just have the same plate that we swap over with the dry sump pumps. But either way, we'll have a complete spare assembly there. So you can see inside of here, everything's out. And again, it's just a complete mess, man, of oil down there. So I'm gonna clean all that really good and hopefully not have this issue anymore. Drive shaft's on the floor. You got to get that out because you have to slide the transmission back, so the drive shaft has to come out too. And that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to give you guys an update regarding the transmission, you know, show you guys the inside of a Gforce. A little different than like a Liberty. Liberty actually has 3 gear sets, which is good for more power because all 3 gear sets absorb the shock instead of just these 2. I would like to think that Gforce is a little faster since it has less inertia to turn. It doesn't have all those 3 sets of gears and those 3 shafts, so which is why we stick to a Gforce. Big power guys, you know, 2Js and all those other guys, they have to run something stronger than this, you know. But this is great for what we want, and it's already heavy enough as it is. So again, there are the parts. Hopefully we fix that damn oil leak, don't have that anymore. Input shaft, this is the output shaft, and you know, just got this thing tore apart, man. So either way, we are excited to get it back together. Like I said, you know, motor's ready to drop in. The old head's gonna go back on. If you look over here, here's the shifter, here's the head, there's the valves, intake is still on it, so I'm not taking any of this off. That way it's just easier to drop back on, and we could just get this thing pretty much, you know, back together. Also, when I told you guys about the wastegate, we did get a new wastegate. So let me show you that. What did I do? Oh, here it is. So we got a new Turbo Smart 60, and this is their CO2 version. So this is actually their compressed gas. It's designed to work with CO2, which is what we run. So this is what's gonna go on the car next. I think I'm gonna have to cut the flange off the old header to get this to work, but kind of figured that was gonna happen. Nothing's ever that easy. So I have to work on that next once I get the motor back in and get it all, you know, back assembled and all. You could see here, this is the old piston and rod. All right, so this is the piston and rod that came out of, here are the pistons and rods. Here is the piston and rod that came out of this engine. Pistons are great, you know, Tron pistons, of course. We run a powder rod, as you can see here, and bearings came out looking awesome, man. Look at those bearings, brand new. That is the beauty of the dry sump oiling system. You know, we run a custom-made 625 rod bolt. I don't know if you could see that there, but heavy-duty wrist pin. But yeah, rings look good. Everything looks great. You know, I just figured what we're gonna do. The plan is get this motor taken apart, go through it completely, and redeck it. You know, do a light hone. Put all new bearings, and hopefully get this motor ready as our prime motor, our primary motor for the October race, if we decide to make it. We're trying to make it to the October race in Orlando. That is the plan. I've talked to the guys about it. We'll see if we'll make it. So we're gonna get this ready, get the spare motor back in the car for now, or we could really push the spare motor hard and then probably get the spare motor back out of the car, go through that as well, and have 2 fresh engines ready to go for October. That's the plan. If we make October, that hopefully we can, we'll see. I know that's the biggest race. I hear there's some cars maybe coming from Australia, so that would be pretty cool. So that's the idea, because once we test the end of May, we're ready in June. June is freaking hot, July is hot, August is hot, and September comes around, maybe we'll test again in September. I don't know, we'll see. But either way, I will keep you guys updated. Just wanted to give you an update on what the car's doing and where we're at. And we actually have a car coming in tomorrow that I'm pretty excited about, so I'll shoot some video of that as well. All right guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care.